goes my yarn.
That's a good way to start. I'm Sue.
I'm Michael.
And we are a close-knit family.
Mm-hmm.
It is...
Tuesday, October 16th, 2018. This is the 27th episode. Episode 27.
All of those things.
Episode 3 times 3 times 3.
Yeah. Okay, 3 cubed.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
We are coming to you from Armstrong in the North Okanagan region of British Columbia, Canada.
We are a knitcast.
Yes, we are.
We are, and we're following Mike's adventures as a new, can't say beginning anymore.
No.
A new knitter.
Yes.
And my ongoing yarn and knitting addiction.
How soon until this is just we are documenting our yarn and knitting addiction? It's getting there.
It's getting there. It really, really, really is.
Yeah.
It is. I'm looking and I'm like, oh my god, I'm sitting here in this like tank top. It's actually, we're in that fall weather now where overnight
freezing.
It's cold. So it's freezing. We've had to winterize everything so that nothing freezes. And then the sun comes out and whoo, gets very warm. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful sunny day in the North Okanagan.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's what that glare is. But anyway.
There's a cat giving me the stink eye. But that was a total stink eye. He just gave our cat.
Well, it's not even our cat. We're taking care of.
We're taking care of our cat.
Of Oma's cat.
Yeah.
Well, Oma recuperates.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, something we, just to bring you back. Oh, you know what I forgot?
Hmm.
You talk about that.
Okay.
And I will be right back for that.
Alrighty. So, we've finally got professional enough that we have a template for our episodes now. So, we have our ongoing sock along going on in our Ravelry group. For every pair of completed adult socks that you post in the faux thread, you are entered into our giveaway, which we will be drawing for sometime around December 25th. That's going to be the cutoff for our entries. And then for every pair of socks, gloves, toque, which is a hat, that you donate to somebody in need, you can post that in there again, and we will give you another entry into our giveaway. The person with the most stuff donated at the end is an automatic winner of 1 prize, and then we have our draw. That is ongoing in our Ravelry group.
Until December 25th. You probably already said that.
Yes.
Cool. Now, looking forward to our temperature scarf, blanket, shawl, whatever you want to call it, knit along starting on January 1st, so for the year of 2019. I decided it was time to do a little, okay, what do I see this looking like for myself? And I broke my sort of temperature range down by 10 degrees.
Is Oscar getting in shot? Yes, he is.
There we go. There's Oscar.
There's the cat that was giving me the stink eye, and he's gone.
Come here.
You want to see Fluff?
Oh, come here, big boy. This is Oscar.
This is Oscar.
He's not really a lap cat, so he probably won't stay for long. So he's going to be with us for probably 6 to 8 weeks.
Yep.
And he's sending fur everywhere right now. Anyway, so temperature. So I broke mine down by 10 degree increments. Just because that made sense for us. We kind of go like minus 30 to like plus 40 is kind of our range. So I have a, where did it go? I have a like below minus 30, and then I go to actually to over 35. But 10, and I know that doesn't make sense because they go to plus 30 and then over plus 35. So that left me with 9 different colors for my temperature shawl.
Should we be clear that we're talking Celsius?
We're talking Celsius because we're in Canada.
Yes.
And what we're talking about is the temperature
Scarf
garment
blanket
thing, where you do your you knit a row a day based on what the temperature was. And I am actually going to do a high-low for every day. And there you go. I don't know if you can hear the dog that's squealing in the background, but there you go. So yeah, I picked 9 colors, and I'm not sort of doing your classic like white, blue up through, I guess, the classic rainbow. I'm not doing that. Then I'm not doing blue and white and icy colors for the cold ones and yellow and orange and red for the hot colors.
Okay.
I'm sort of looking at creams and grays going through some blue and teal up through green and to a yellow. And what is going to happen is you're going to end up with something that fades from both ends with your temperatures, most likely. So that's my plan. I've got 9 colors, and I looked up a pattern called the Zigzag Scarf. So essentially, it's a chevron.
Okay.
Scarf. And I'm probably going to do something along those lines.
Okay.
But I encourage you to look for patterns or stitch patterns that do just plain garter or stocking stitch. Do whatever you want. But think about it. If you want to join us in this, I think it'd be fun to see everybody's from various different places, what sort of temperature ranges people go through. And so that's looking ahead to January 1st, and that was some of the planning that I did. And I figured out that I'm either going to, so there's 365 days in a year, and I pictured doing like when I say a row, it's going to be a there and a back. So that's kind of like 2 rows for one temperature, but I'm doing 2 temperatures a day.
Right.
So that's 4 rows
every day.
So that's going to be 1,460 rows. So keep that in mind too. Like if you're looking at a pattern, how that's going to work for you if you're just doing 1 row, 1 color a day, 1 row of 2 temperatures a day, or what. But anyway, so that was just some things to think about looking forward. Yeah. Now, last week, we announced the winner to our Who's Older? Cool Cam or Sue?
Yes.
Not Cool Cam.
I'm Michael. Cool Cam was in the interview of episode 25.
And, yes, Cool Cam is my big brother.
Yes, indeed.
Not just because he's tall.
He's very tall.
Yeah. No, Cam is older. He is 4 years older than I am. We did announce it last week, but if you've been following this, you know that last week we lost the beginning part, and then I kind of did a quick recap, and I forgot to recap that Susie Robertson was the winner.
Yes.
Of that. We had 2 people who got the answer right, and we did a dice rolling thing, and it was all wonderful and exciting, and then it got lost. So, so Susie, please get in touch with me. The best way is by our email, which is cnfpodcast@gmail.com. And we know it should, anyway.
We've been over that.
We've been over it so many times. Yeah, if you can send me an email with your contact information so that we can send you some Cool Cam stitch markers.
Yeah.
Woo! Yay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So, on the note of sort of recovering from some of the stuff that we lost last week, let's do Mike's Knit City recap, the part that you didn't get to see.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just, I got a lot of yarn. Actually, most of my yarn's out on the table here. Yeah, so,
Pick
gosh, where do I
something.
start? Let's pick this one. So, I...
Hold it up.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I talked to the Black Cat Custom Yarns group, and I found them to be the standard nerds that were selling yarn there. Because a couple episodes ago I complained about going on Ravelry and looking up World of Warcraft and finding like 4 patterns. Well, you see, I went to Black Cat Custom Yarns and I found this colorway, which is called Stormwind. And Stormwind is one of the capital cities in World of Warcraft. And that is in their Let's Get Worsted yarn. The colorway is Stormwind. And I also, I actually forgot to mention this in the part that we lost, but in the vlog style video that we did in Knit City, at one point I do a pan up on a woman wearing a very large scarf. And that is, gosh, I can't remember her name, but she's from Black Cat Custom Yarns. I think she's the head dyer there. And that scarf is all of their colorways that are available. So I was, you know, holding up, oh yeah, this yarn looks cool. I like the looks of this. And you're like, oh yeah, that is this one. That's how it knits up. And
it's 100% superwash merino.
Yeah, 100% superwash merino.
I love the colors in that. Without even knowing anything about the reference to whatever it was.
World of Warcraft. And actually, before we got... I should have done this first. Before we got to Knit City, as we mentioned, I think, before, we stopped at Knit2 Yarns in Kamloops.
Hi, Carla!
Hi, Carla! And I picked up this yarn here because I was like, you know what? This is so very much me. I know I'm going to do something with this yarn. All the dark blues and the sort of dark greens, baby poop brown.
Yeah, girl, baby poop brown.
So that, yeah, this is a Malabrigo. The colorway is Playa. It is pure merino superwash. Doesn't have the weight listed.
It's a worsted.
It's a worsted.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I picked that up on our way to Knit City.
At least what we call worsted.
Yeah.
We talked about that in another episode too.
You know, I get it from Mom. I love my mud punch. And I was kind of on I was kind of on a rainbow spree at Knit City. I actually didn't only got this one rainbow yarn. It is this one. This is their Goth Rainbow colorway. A self-striping sock yarn, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Get myself some nice socks out of that.
Yeah, it was actually funny because Mike really was. He was like, oh, the rainbow. Well, hello. We're in a room full of booths that have yarn set up. It's like, oh, it's a rainbow. They were everywhere.
Yeah, and I only got this one. Yeah, outside, and then my last acquisition that I didn't talk about was outside at the Elderberry Yarns thing. I picked up a whole bunch of yarn, which I'm going to do socks for my friends for Christmas, and I've actually already this is bleeding into whips a little bit. I've cast on one of them, and I'm already fairly far along. So
these are in Drops Fable.
Yep, Drops Fable. Some of them are the patterned yarn.
They're patterned yarns. Yeah.
Yep. So these two are going to be sort of the highlight color in the main color set, and this is what that is actually knitting up like. Yarn is going everywhere. So yeah, this is what that kind of looks like. So I have the red yarn for the toe there. These are toe up socks, and then that's what it's knitting up like. I am just beginning the gusset increases.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom wrote a pattern for me, and which is sort of a, you know, what does Mom do for yarn for socks?
I said to him, do you want to just do like one at a time, so you kind of learn how to put a sock together? And he's like,
no, I want to do 2 at a time.
No, I want to do 2 at a time. I said, okay, toe up, top down. What do you want to do?
Toe up?
So I've written them out directions and.
Yep. And also on these yarns, and coming from the Black Cat Custom Yarns table, I think this was actually Black Sheep. I have the business card in here somewhere. I'll find it in a second. Are these wood cut stitch markers, which are dice. And also some cool cam stitch markers there, because it didn't quite have enough. But yeah, I got a set of those.
The polyhedral dice.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah.
And I also have a Sleepy Sheep Workshop. I also have a set of
Progress Keepers.
Yes, Progress Keepers that are the D20.
Yeah.
And then the other, going back to Elderberry yarns and the sock yarns I got there, the other set of yarns I got from my other friend are these two. Which I think go, let's take that off. These go very well together. Okay, that's that.
And did you want to talk about the other stitch markers?
Oh, yes.
Because you did that last time.
Yeah, so at the Sleepy Sheep workshop within Black Cat Custom Yarns, they had stitch markers that were shaped like penises. And if you bought a set of these stitch markers, you got a sticker that was the penis design with the words, "I got dick at Knit City."
Yay!
We didn't pick up any, but they were flying off the table.
Yeah, they were pretty funny.
Yeah.
They were pretty funny. It was actually funny watching people come up and go, "Ooh, can I have 3 sets of those?"
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you gonna do with 3 sets of penis markers?
1 for me and 2 for my friends. Alrighty, that's me caught up on Knit City.
Okay, that's excellent.
Yeah.
So, those of you who've been following us know, and those of you who are new don't, that I am a nail tech.
Mm-hmm.
That's how and nail tech means I put gel nail extensions and stuff on people.
Yes.
That's how I earn money so I can buy yarn.
Yes.
And I was changing up my my nails on the weekend, and I was just really dry for inspiration. Anyway, so this is what I ended up with. So it's a black sparkle and then a red kind of a fishnetty thing with some crystals on it and some red blood drips. And the reason why this is like sort of a bigger story than, ooh, yeah, there's my nails. I just did something a little bit different, and I did like an Instagram live because I really was like, I had no inspiration for what to do with my nails. Mm-hmm. And so I had a few people who came and went, and 2 who stayed with me the whole time. Thank you, Stephanie from Knit 3 Together. She's one of the Cox triplets in the UK. And Dawn was with me the whole time, and when I was like, okay, should I do this, or what do you think about that? And I am so happy with these nails because they're something that, yes, I would have normally done to myself, but I wouldn't have done them the way I did without sort of a little bit of idea dropping and stuff. But my goodness, you too, I can't believe it, because it was 2 hours. I had to restart. Well, I actually restarted it 3 times because I was in the middle of telling Dawn about, we were like, okay, we're done, it's over, we're gonna get on with our lives. Except I was telling Dawn about something that might help her with a nail problem, and it stopped again. So I was like, okay, pick it up again. Dawn, yep, there she is. We'll finish it up.
Did you do that on Instagram?
On Instagram, okay. Yeah.
Follow our Instagram. So
yeah, follow Instagram, and I might do that again sometime, because I get really stale with my ideas. They sort of all come out onto my clients' fingers, and then I'm like, what can I do that's fun, that's new, that's yeah. So anyway, Alrighty. So there was that. I have another story.
You have another story. That's good, because I don't have a whole lot of anything.
I have another story. You weren't home the other night.
No, I wasn't.
That happens a lot, actually.
Yeah, I work a lot of closing shifts.
Anyway, so, okay, in our house, Dad's a more adventurous cook than I am. Yeah. When I cook things, like if I cook potatoes, I cook potatoes. If he cooks potatoes, he's they're mixed with like garlic and cilantro and dill and honey and sour cream and so I'm if I eat potatoes, I want to taste potatoes.
Yep.
And he does more adventurous things. So anyway, generally on the weekends, like he's the cook on the weekends. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is anyone who has a dog or whoever has been around a dog for any period of time knows that there's a certain je ne sais quoi, a certain odor that sometimes wafts through a room when a dog farts. So I was sitting the other night and I'm knitting away and Lloyd is cooking dinner.
I haven't heard this story.
And I'm knitting in the other room and he kind of walks around the corner just sort of, you know, checking in, see what's going on. And just at that moment, an odor sort of wafted past me and I looked up at him and I said, "Is that dinner or the dog?"
Wow.
It was that, oh, can I claw those words back?
Yeah.
Luckily, because we love each other, we both just laughed about it. And it was so funny. But there was something he was doing that was very pungent. And it hit that particular note. It was quite funny. Yeah. So the other thing that happened, and now this happened a few weeks ago.
Okay.
But it happened sort of, we were away at Knit City and then we had our Knit City episode and stuff. And I really wanted to talk about this on its own.
Okay.
So, my friend my friend who I've never met. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
From Happy Homes Fiber Arts. Just out of the blue, sent me this beautiful skein of yarn. Now it looks weird because I skeined it and I've taken it apart and I've looked at it so very, very many times because it's absolutely gorgeous. She sent a note along with it and said that a little birdie told her I liked green. And I would love to know who the birdie was because
that was me when you bought your dice, or when I got
Is that
your
what
dice.
it was?
Because I mentioned it when I asked you, what color do you like, so I can get you dice. You said green.
Okay.
And yeah.
So, what's funny? I guess in dice, green, and don't get me wrong, I don't not like green. But I don't know that I don't know what I would have said if it was a yarn related question. But this is absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to make sure that Nicole got her own due, her own time. And that I could really gush about this yarn because honestly, this is so beautiful. And it was very nice. It was a very happy circumstance. Now I got it and the first thing I said to myself was, yay, I'm going to give this away. And then I read the note and the note said no, that Nicole wanted to see what I did with it. So it was like, oh, that's cool. So this is called Ivy League. It's an 80-20 fingering weight. So what have we got on here? 420 yards to 115 grams. Why can't we do meters and grams in the same sentence? Nicole is from Cranbrook, British Columbia.
Oh, Cranbrook.
Yeah. And she's the one that Dad didn't get me yarn.
Right. Yes.
But
that story.
You really should check her out. So there's some contact information for her. But so when I read it and it was like, okay, I get to play with this skein. Here I am. I'm trying to twist this and getting all... Okay. So I've been sort of had these yarns that I'm trying to get something going with for a while now, and I haven't quite found, until now, the perfect yarn to go with these. So, you've seen these before. This is Lolo Didit's Wild Horses, I think is what it's called. And this is Ancient Arts Whales in the Water?
Oh.
Yeah, Whales in the Water. Ancient Arts, Whales in the Water.
Oh, I did, yes. Sorry.
And can we just take a moment here?
That is a very good combination.
I don't know if you can tell or not, but the yarn that Nicole sent me, Happy Homes Fiber Arts, has the same blue as is in this one. As is in the Whales in the Water. Can I? Yeah, if you see. And the greens. And then, like, it goes so nicely. I'm just like, get out of my head. How did you know that that would be the perfect yarn? So Nicole, wow. Thank you so much for your very, very generous gift. And I have plans for it. I even have now, anyway, I've got lots of plans, but as you'll see in a minute, I've been casting on all the things.
You can't see the pile that is sitting just off camera on the table here.
It's not pretty. Well, it is pretty.
It's very pretty. That's the problem.
But yeah. And what's even sort of funny is that, like, I'm literally knitting on each of these things every day.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
So, Happy Homes Fiber Arts, Nicole Holmes. Mwah! I don't know how you did that. That is just the perfect yarn. So, wow.
Yes.
Check out Happy Homes Fiber Arts.
Yes, indeed. Do that.
All right.
Do that. Do that.
Finished objects.
Finished objects. I have no finished objects.
I keep thinking I do. I feel like I finished something. I know I never showed my finished socks because Melissa
took them.
But I feel like there was something else in there that I finished. It was the socks, the same socks, but the ones that I made for Knit City, and they're downstairs, so we're not going to worry about that.
Okay.
Yes. So I have a faux, it's a pair of socks. Okay.
Okay.
So new cast-ons.
Well, I mean, I had my socks, which
Yeah.
I showed off already.
Okay. So this is feeling a lot like the Sue show. But okay. I don't even know where to start. Okay, that's not a new cast-on. We've talked about it before. That's not a new cast-on. We talked about it before. This is a new cast-on. And so is this. Okay. So this is a little bit of an acquisition, new yarn, and a new cast-on. I have been wanting to dabble and get into the wonderful world of Fair Isle stranded color work for quite a while.
Okay.
And last week I was watching Fruity Knitting, and they were recapping their adventures at Shetland. I can't wait. 2 years. Their adventures at Shetland Wool Week, and they featured a new pattern by Terry Laura of Terry Laura. Anyway, she's a designer. Terry, and her website is terrylaura.co.uk. So she's a Shetland designer, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make her hats and mitts. And for some reason, I decided to cast the mittens on first. I don't even know why.
Why not?
So I went and I picked up some Jameson and Smith. So this is not the Shetland Jamesons. This is the other one, but it doesn't matter. I picked up these. What else have I got in here? This one. Gray, and there's a cream.
Do you need me to hold on to any of these?
I think, is there another color? Oh, and this dark purple. That's right, and this dark. So those are the like pattern colors that I'm using. And then there's a gray and a cream, which are the background colors. So I picked those up and I started on the mittens. And that is the beginning of my color work for these. They're fingerless gloves, and I know when I get to the fingers and the thumb and that, I'm going to make them longer than the pattern is, because in the pattern they're just really short, and I will make them a little bit longer. But this is really the first time I've done stranded color work, because I think I've talked about that before. I originally was taught how to do salish, and with salish,
you twist each.
You twist each. Can you see? Not really. With salish, you twist every stitch.
Mm-hmm.
So you get this real pebble effect on the back. And of course, with stranded, you're leaving your strands.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it, obviously I haven't done my ends yet. So, only knitters, right? Turn it inside out and check it out. So, there's my stranded work on the wrong side. I'm really happy with the way it's coming together. I've also never really, I've never wanted to buy a yarn like this before.
No.
Can I scoot up here? Okay. I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to. Anyway, so this is a woolen spun, and it's very toothy. And if you see how that is, like, it's almost like Velcro, the way it sticks to itself. Like, it doesn't, the yarn doesn't fall off. It really sticks to itself. And I know that's what I've been told over and over again. If you're going to do color work, if you're going to do that kind of knitting, you've got to use a nice toothy yarn. But it doesn't feel nice.
No, it really doesn't.
Like when you touch it, it feels really rough. It feels like burlap.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like it's quite rough. But when you knit it, like already, it feels so much softer. I don't know that at this point this is something I could put around my neck, but so much softer once it's knit. And I can only imagine when it's washed and it starts to felt a little bit, that's gonna be soft. I think it's gonna be very nice. So this is all kind of a learning experience for me. So that was a cast on this past week. Let's put that one out of the way. My husband actually asked me to knit him something. And that was very exciting.
Yes.
And at first he picked this yarn, which is Ancient Arts Because It Was There. And it's a 100% superwash merino. And I knit up the a bit of a swatch for what I thought I was going to do. And then I said to him, okay, now feel this. Feel how thick it isn't. It is a DK weight, a sport weight. And is that really what you want? And he said, no, I did want something thicker. So I said, all right then. And again, if you've been hanging out with us, oh shoot, I'm just dropping everything. If you've been hanging out with us, you know that a little while ago I made him a brioche cowl. So I said to him, how about I make you, with the same yarn that I made the cowl, how about I make you a brioche hat? So I cast this on last night.
Just last night?
Wasn't it last night?
I don't know.
Wait, yesterday was Monday.
Yesterday was Monday. The day before that was Sunday.
Melissa was here yesterday.
Melissa was here yesterday. The day before that, I wasn't here.
Yeah, no, this was last night.
Oh.
I cast this, well, yeah, because I was doing this while Melissa was here.
Oh.
So, I've started a brioche hat for my hubby, and he was so silly. He took the cowl, so it's like, it's the type of cowl you wrap around twice, so it's quite long.
Yeah. And
he took it, and he picked it up, and he like doubled it over and put it on his head. He's like, yeah, I can wear that as a hat. And then he said, but wait a minute, if they match, isn't that going to be too matchy-matchy? And I was like, dude, he says, I don't know if I can wear it if it's all matchy-matchy. And I was like, you'll wear it because I knit it for you. And then if anyone says anything, you'll just say, I had to because my wife made it for me. So, cast-ons. All right. All right.
Yeah,
I think that's our...
That is totally something Dad would do. Is to take his cowl and just...
Now, whips!
Whips?
You've done your whips.
I've done my whips. I did no work on the yarn quest this week, so I'm not bringing it up. Because I'm kind of burnt out on it.
Kind of burnt out. And that's okay. Like, you still get your pattern. You get your... And you finish it when you pick it up one day and you'll be like, yeah, I remember doing this. It was so much fun. Sometimes you just need that... Cleanse your palate.
Yeah, and yeah, there was also, I was putting myself under pressure to try to keep up.
Yeah.
And I am not an experienced enough knitter to keep up with the pace. I don't have enough time to keep up with the pace that was being set. Anyway.
Yeah. and that's totally cool, right?
Yeah.
It's not a race. It's no fun. It's no fun if it's not fun.
Yeah.
And it's it's meant to be fun. So these are my current pair of Mud Punch.
Very nice.
So they have a brownish toe. That's a Drops Fable. And I put in my heel flap and gusset in the brown and then picked it up again. So I'm now starting to carry on up the leg of the sock. And I broke down... because I knew I wanted to get 4 socks out of my skein of yarn, I broke it down into 4 little balls so that I could like knit as far as I could on each sock. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So it looks like I've got... Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So 4. I've got 4 more stripes to go, and then I'll do the cuff. So I'm loving, gosh, I just, Chantel, I love your yarn. It makes me so happy. I have another pair that I'm wearing all the time. I haven't even, oh my gosh. I haven't sewn the ends in on them, but I discovered a drop stitch just right at the ribbing. It must have happened when I was casting off.
Right, yeah.
So I slipped a stitch marker into it to hold it so it wouldn't keep running. And I'm wearing them with the stitch marker. They even went through the wash.
Oh man.
With the stitch marker on. So yeah. Hi, my name's Sue. I do weird things.
We all do. We all do.
Okay. And my Kim Hargreaves pattern, which is knit with the Ancient Arts merino and nettle. And this colorway is paperweight.
Very nice.
And So I've done a little bit more on that.
That's a very nice pattern.
Now, if you're wondering about that weird little line across the middle there, that's dental floss. It's a safety line. Yeah, so I'm knitting away still on that, and I love this colorway.
Mm-hmm.
From Ancient Arts.
Everything you got going on there is very nice.
And I like, and the stitch definition that it gives really makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a little bit more on that, and that's Kim Hargreaves. The pattern is Balance, and I got it out of her book, which I think is actually just called Kim. I think I called it the wrong thing the other day.
Uh-oh.
But anyway. Yes, I have more!
And there's still more.
Yes,
it's okay. I have some words for what Mike brings to the table, so...
Oh my god.
If you like hearing me talk, sit tight.
Alright, so this is my Disdero Ranchland Shawl by Mona.
It's not a seed stitch, is it?
No, it's not. Anyway, I shouldn't be sitting here staring at it. So, here's...
But it's very nice to look at.
So where was that little green marker there? That's where I was last week.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a good idea. I should do that more often.
I have done some more growth here. I'm still torn. I'm thinking I might have pulled this pattern part in too tightly. I'm thinking it'll work out when I block it, but I'm not sure.
How do you tell? What makes you say that?
But that's oh, that doesn't look very good, does it? Because I stretched it out.
Sorry, Erin.
Oh, and I pulled it, and anyway, all sorts of weird stuff is going on there. Anyway, I love this pattern stitch that Mona put in for the switching from color to color. So I've got, oh gosh, quite a bit more of the darker brown here. So it's 100% wool, and growing in the North Thompson region, and all natural colors.
Oh, I got bumped.
And yeah. So now, Mike, you said, how can I tell that maybe I did it too tight?
Oh, now I see it.
Do you see how it kind of pulls in?
Yeah, along the...
Well, no, just like the whole thing. Like, do you see, like, it's... Like, just where that pattern part section is, it kind of pulls in. Anyway, so that's how... And I ended up doing the pattern twice because the first time... my mojo wasn't with me. I went back and did it again, and the second time I did it, I actually did loosen up my gauge a little bit. I'm thinking for the next, I was gonna say for the next pattern section, I would go up a needle size, but I don't have a needle size to go up to.
Oh, those are big needles.
So I might just have to go and pick up another set of the Chow Goose.
Oh no, how terrible would that be?
Because we already discovered I don't want to use my wooden needles with this yarn.
Yeah.
So there's that. So yeah, loving it, and there's the picture of it. And that's the Ranchland Shawl.
Yes.
I really, really am enjoying this knit.
That is a very nice pattern with some very nice yarn.
Yeah, it's really and it's, you know, I think a beginner could probably manage this one quite nicely.
Yeah, it just seems like a whole lot of garter stitch, so.
And then you've got that pattern section, but it's short and it's easy to read, and okay. So
is that
I
whips?
feel like I'm missing something. But anyway, so that's whips. We had that doesn't count. So we had cast-ons and whips.
Yep.
Okay, and now yarn acquisitions.
I didn't acquire anything.
But I did. So I acquired that Jameson and Smith yarn that we looked at already.
Yes.
And then I got my hair done today, and when I finished, I sit and I design things when I'm getting my hair done. I don't know what other people do. I'm knitting while my hair's, you know, proofing, and I'm designing things. Anyway, one of the ladies there, she loves red, and she loves wearing things like kind of like what do you call it? Sort of, you know, shrugs and poncho-y kind of hangy things. And
Okay.
Anyway, so I had decided, I keep going in and out of our local yarn shop, which is called A Twisted Pearl. And I've gone in and out of there a few times. And there's this rack of shibui yarn there. And there's this nice, beautiful deep red. And there's some in like the fingering weight merino. And there's like the same colorway in mohair, and I'm picturing all these things I could do with it. And I said, when I left today, I said, that's it. I'm going to go get the yarn for that because I have a pretty clear idea of what I want to do now. And it's been like a year going. Anyway, so I got there and I picked up the shibui and I'm like, yes, this is going to be amazing. And there's a third one that had sort of like a little bit of a kind of a tweedy look to it in the shibui, and I was like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. And then I started looking at yardage and how much I was going to need, and this was going to be like a $200 or $300 thing, and I'm like, okay, this is just for like a friend who happens to work at the hair salon, and she's not paying me for it, and I'm just kind of doing it. And I was like, and I just bought a whole mess of yarn. So anyway, so while we were there, then the lady said, well, you know, check back here in our discount section. So I went to back to the discount section and I found this, and this is mohair, and it is Diamond Luxury pure super kid mohair. And what am I trying to say about this? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that it's not the super fine mohair that we're seeing everywhere right now. This is actually like a 2-ply.
Oh.
So if we look at one strand of it, you can see that it's got a couple of plies there. So, is it even 3? No, it's 2-ply. Yeah. So it's a little bit heavier because I was looking at using the, oh my God. I was looking at using the,
why did you give me this?
The merino.
Why did you hand me this?
Just to give it a little bit of structure so it wasn't that super fine mohair.
Oh, mohair. Oh.
But I think this is going to be perfect. Anyway, so that is a yarn acquisition that I made today.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll see how far I get with this, because I was torn there because they had a there was a oh gosh, was it from Diamond as well? I can't remember, but it was a linen, silk, cotton, nettle, I think, blend that was the exact same color. And I was like, oh, I could like, you know, stripe or something or do some different. And then I said, no, you know what? I'm just going to see where I get with this. So that was a yarn acquisition. Mm-hmm. All the things.
Yes, so many things.
All the things. And I have more things that I want to cast on. It was like everything was kind of waiting for Knit City, and now it's just all coming out. All right.
Okay.
What, Mike? What do you bring to the table?
Hi. Board gaming is not all fun and games. Ha ha ha. Sometimes there are certain games that come out and they are just not good. They don't hit all the fun things. Now I want to be clear here. I am not recommending the game that I'm about to show you today. However, there are certain conditions I'll talk about where you might enjoy this game immensely. Good on you. Don't let me change that. If you love this game with all your heart, keep doing that. But I personally did not enjoy Fallout, a post-nuclear board game for 1 to 4 players. The Fallout board game is based on the Fallout video game series, which is set in the post-nuclear apocalypse wasteland and sees the main character running around the world, interacting with other factions that have survived the nuclear apocalypse. And it's a very well-known, loved video game series. And the board game tries to do too much from the video game series. Instead of picking one or two things that it can do really well, the Fallout board game tries to do everything and fails. It's confused on whether it wants to be a competitive or a cooperative game. There's so much going on. The plot deck is actually a brilliant mechanic, and I want to see it applied somewhere else. However, I have seen people, as I said, enjoy this game immensely. And the common thread between them is that they were all huge fans of the Fallout video game series. So if you are a fan of the Fallout video game series, or you know someone who is a fan, pick this game up for them. They might love it, they might enjoy it. It's not for me. So that is what I bring to the table this week. Okay,
so there we go. There's a first time for everything. So
yes,
yeah,
indeed.
Not one that was really a super success.
Well, I was really looking forward to this, and then I played it, and I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, because I remember you were pretty jazzed about it. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm actually gonna give this away to a friend who's gonna use some of the components in his D&D campaign.
Oh, cool.
Which I'm probably gonna end up playing in. So yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
I saw that it comes with little figurines. I was like, those are cool. Sorry.
Yeah,
so these little figurines, I thought they were kind of cool.
Yeah. So yeah, my friend's gonna use those.
That's not a good reason to buy a game.
So I actually kind of bought this game with the plan that painting those figures would be me learning to paint figures, but then I just didn't want to keep the game. So yeah.
So that's not that little thing that you started painting, was it?
No.
That was something else.
No, that was something else.
Cool.
I've got into miniature painting. Maybe that'll come on here sometime.
It's all part of the D&D thing.
Yeah.
And I've only played the one.
We're having a lot of conflicting schedules among the other players, so it
was still fun, and you know what? I really want to get some of our game night people, because they're all actors.
They're all actors. They would all be so good at it.
Speaking of acting, this week our friends are putting on for the fifth year, but fifth and final year, the Rocky Horror Show. And yeah, I'm going Thursday night. I don't think you knew that.
I knew you were going. I didn't know which night.
Well, I was supposed to go next Friday.
Okay.
With Dad, but now Aunt Monique may be in town, but Friday that's sold out.
Okay.
So she's going to use my ticket, and I'm going to go on opening night.
Okay.
I'm hoping that maybe I can do some little interviews with them, and just to give you a little behind the scenes of some of the people we talk about. But we'll see.
Yeah, I've been in the show for the last 4 years. And I loved it. I enjoyed it, but this year I decided no, it's one too many things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in it. But I may still try to go and see it.
Yeah. Well, you got to, I mean, you got to get in probably the first week, because the tickets they're getting sold out. They're getting sold out. But we know people will probably sneak you in the back. Anyway, but on that note, we found out that in the spring, our sort of group of theater people we're putting on Spamalot. And so anyone who doesn't know what Spamalot is, if you know Monty Python and the Holy Grail, it's the
Broadway musical
of that. Oh, and I was thinking, what about Robin?
That could be Robin.
Yeah.
The reason I'm on the audition list for that.
Yeah.
When that comes up, and I'm thinking of auditioning for Patsy or King Arthur.
Yeah, Patsy would be good too.
Yeah, I sort of chose them because I looked at a casting list and I was like, oh yeah, they're both baritones. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know who King Arthur's going to be. But
I think I know who King Arthur's going to be too, but we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not. So, events from around the world. World. Okay. So these are all really close. They're coming up on this coming weekend. Friday, October 19th, we have 3 Bags Full Wool Market at Liskard.
Liskerd.
E-A-R-D.
Keard.
Yeah. Liskard Public Hall in Cornwall. In Liskard, Cornwall. It's in the UK.
Liskard. Okay.
And in case you've been asleep, Saturday, October 20th, Rhinebeck, also known as the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, is happening in Rhinebeck, New York, in the USA. Again, you know, if you've been asleep, because I mean that's all anybody's talking about.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's the first I've heard of it.
You've never heard of Rhinebeck?
No.
Well, no, you wouldn't have because
No.
you know. And it's kind of dust. It's kind of a huge thing.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really big yarn and fiber festival. Yeah. And on Saturday, October 20th, so the same day as Rhinebeck, for those of you who aren't going there, there is the Fiber Shindig at Hillhurst Sunnyside I can't read my own writing. Community Center in Calgary, Alberta. The Fiber Shindig. That's another one I would really like to go to. Is that all right?
That's all right.
All right. So there
Our martyr just had a little blip.
that's our events
From around the world.
All right. So
I read that last thing as Enderby.
Oh, that's funny. That's where we used to live.
Yep.
Anything else that you know while we've been sitting here and you've thought, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Talked about my toothy wool.
No.
You know, I would kind of. No one's gonna believe that I'm saying this out loud, but I kind of wouldn't mind redoing that long leaf coat with the toothy wool.
Are you crazy?
I know, right? But it would be a.
I agree, but I think you're crazy.
Yeah, no, it'll never happen because I'm never.
That long leaf coat that is sitting right over there.
Never.
You'll have to go back to a previous episode to see what we're talking about. I don't know which episode it was, but you'll have to go back.
No. All right. So, well, I guess then that's where we're at.
Yeah. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that little bell icon, and it'll let you know every time we upload a video. We've been a little naughty recently and not sticking to the schedule, but there's a whole myriad of reasons for that. And join our Ravelry group. There will be links to that in the description. Throw an introduction into our Introduce Yourself thread. Follow our Instagram. Again, that'll be on the end card in the description.
And maybe you'll get to help me with my
maybe you'll get to help with the nails. And
you know what? Hang on. Something's coming to me. Nope, can't remember. So
keep your knitting close and your family closer. Bye.